Welcome back to Bold and Better. Today is not about reflection. It's not about healing. It's not about patience, perspective, or trusting the process. Today is about movement because there comes a point in a man's life where he's done understanding why things are the way they are and he's ready to change the conditions. And if you're listening to this, there's a good chance you're not lost, broken, or failing. You're just stalled, not because you lack ability, intelligence, but because you've been waiting for the right moment to act. This episode is all about that. The trap of almost being ready. One of the most dangerous phrases a man can say to himself is, I'm almost ready to launch, almost ready to speak, almost ready to move, almost ready to demand more. Almost feels responsible. It feels mature, feels like discipline. But almost ready is just fear dressed up as prudence. The truth is, readiness does not arrive before action. Readiness is forged by action. Men don't get confident and then act. They act and confidence follows. And the longer you wait, the more momentum you surrender to time. Why does waiting feel safe? Waiting feels safe because it preserves identity. When you wait, you don't risk embarrassment. You don't risk rejection. You don't risk being seen trying. Waiting lets you stay in potential, but potential is a lie if it's never exercised. At some point, potential becomes regret. Men who wait too long don't lose because they're incapable. They lose because they refuse to accept friction. And friction is the price of becoming sharper. Momentum is a decision, not a feeling. Here's a shift you need to make. Momentum is not something you find. Momentum is something you declare. You don't wake up motivated. You don't wake up confident. You wake up committed. Commitment precedes emotion. If you're waiting to feel energized, inspired, or certain, you're outsourcing your agency to your mood. High-functioning men don't operate that way. They move first. They adjust second. They feel clarity third. Momentum solves problems, clarity never will. Pick a target, not a life overhaul. Here's where most men sabotage themselves. They try to fix everything at once. Their career, their body, needing more money, their relationships, their purpose, their identity. That's not strength. That's chaos. Instead, you pick one domain and you apply force. One, ask yourself, where would pressure create the greatest leverage right now for me? Is it your income, your physical conditioning, your business, your skill stack, your social positioning? Pick one lane. Then decide this. For the next 90 days, this gets my intensity. No hedging, no second guessing. No, we'll see how it goes. You're not exploring here. You're advancing. Daily pressure is non-negotiable. It is the non-negotiable standard. Here's the operating rule. Every day must contain one act of pressure. Not productivity, not efficiency, pressure. Pressure means doing the thing you're avoiding, stepping into resistance, choosing the discomfort over distraction. Pressure could be sending the message you've been delaying to send. Maybe it's publishing the work you keep refining over and over again. Asking something directly instead of being passive aggressive and hinting. Lifting heavier at the gym, raising your standard, removing something that's draining you. Pressure is how identity changes. You don't become stronger by thinking about strength. You become stronger by applying force consistently. So stop negotiating with yourself. Most men don't lack discipline. They lack self-command. They negotiate with themselves all day long. They say things like, I'll do it later. Tomorrow will be better. Let me think about that. That internal negotiation erodes authority. Here's the shift. You don't ask yourself what you feel like doing. You decide what the man you're becoming requires today, and you execute without debate, no narrative, no mood checks, command, then comply. That's how men rebuild internal trust. You don't need permission. Let's make this very explicit. You do not need permission, approval, consensus, perfect timing. You are allowed to want more. Demand better. Pursue aggressively. Take up space. Waiting for permission is how men shrink themselves. Claiming your territory is how men expand. So in closing, move now. Let me end this clearly. You're not behind. You are not broken. You're not out of time, but you are at risk of hesitation becoming your habit, and habits shape outcomes. Pick the direction, apply pressure, move before certainty, act before comfort, stop waiting. This is Bold and Better. Now go take territory and win.